Hello.
And we're live! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What is this madness? Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Naturally One. Welcome back to Naturally One.
I am providing a very unique commodity.
Please tell me the names of your companions.
Who, what, when, where, and why? I don't know if you've captured Hal yet.
Bob is sleeping outside and boiling acorns and having a good time.
Hey, how's our patient doing? Still alive back there, buddy?
Bob, I want you to roll me some percent on this. Not only is there no pulse, he's cold.
I guess that's one less thing we have to drag around.
I got horns. I got some teeth, kind of sharp. I got some tricks up my sleeve.
And make sure that we don't cut ourselves on glass. One's mostly
can we
dead.
use one of the dead bodies to break out the rest of the jagged glass at one of the windows so we don't hurt ourselves?
If you look close enough, you might notice that his eyes are moving so fast that you wonder how he can see anything. And I'm going to say, this is for hurting my friends. And I take my dagger and put it right underneath his chin. Right.
Actually kill him?
Oh yeah, he's dead. I want him.
Oh!
Small human in a big city for the first time ever in his life.
Let me guess, the
Decision to not
highlight of your
want
life is what you're gonna do in order to make a name for yourself, maybe one day even slay some really cool monsters. Just like every one of those guys over there.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll be here next year. I'm gonna climb that ranking as high as I can, and I ain't gonna stop until I reach as high as I possibly can get.
Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are back. Who wants to recap what all happened?
Go ahead, note taker. We're waiting.
Why is it always me? I mean, can't one of you guys do a recap once upon a time?
I think we pretty much decided that's just always gonna be you.
Fine, okay.
You volunteered for the position.
Of note taking, not doing the recaps.
That
Get
involves
better,
note-taking.
guys. All right, okay. So, where we last left off, the group zoomed past the halfway station. With more track to traverse, Clore and Bob settled in for a nice little nap while Penn, Rinningham, and Theo stayed up, save for the occasional spark from the gears of the cart. There was no light to speak of, but then they saw a lovely sight, almost looking like an ocean of diamonds without any ripples, sparkles, as the cart continued onward. About an hour after that, however, Rinningham spotted a group of small figures on the track. They were kobolds, and kobold bandits, perhaps? Quite unclear, but they seemed like they were going to try to attempt to rob the party. So the party got the drop on them. Theo decapitated one of them with a shovel and shot another with an arrow. And Clore was letting off the eldritch blasts, and Penn had some fun with acid, which was great, and horrifying all at once. And then Rinningham had a bonding moment with Scott the owl. The group took another nap. Some of them did. When dawn broke, the party reached another waypoint in the tracks that led to a dark, cavernous entrance, which was the mine. While Bob and Penn remained behind so Bob could get some rest, Theo, Clore, and Rinningham explored ahead and discovered a bunch of colorful lights about every 100 feet or so, in rainbow colors. They went back to the entrance to collect their party members, and where we last left off, they were taking the cart with them towards where those lights led downwards, another level.
All right. Yeah.
That was well done.
And you see, that's why we want you to do it, because otherwise it would have been, we killed a bunch of goblins, got to the cave, hey, there you go.
They weren't goblins, they were kobolds. Guys, get better with your memories. Come on. What's going to happen the time when I can't make a session?
It's all about the storytelling.
Oh, that's not allowed.
You think we'd play without you, Sam? Come on now. Not without Theo.
We're dependent.
I mean, it does seem to be that whenever, it's very rare that we only have one person out. And when we do, it's been Rinningham because, he decided that, he and his wife want to do the whole progeny thing. And there was another one of them spawned onto the planet. Yeah, another one of those. Yeah, look at that guy. He's dead in the center there. Look at her. Yeah, see, we're talking about you. Talking about you, Stuart. Anyway, fantastic. If Sam wasn't here to do the recaps, I could do the recaps. I ran the session. I have enough of a memory. It sometimes works. And yeah, well, I try not to Jaeger jockey if we don't have, if we only have, if we have more than 2 people out. That's the word I'm talking. That's words in English. Oh, tonight's gonna be great if words are all over the place. Anyway, where you last left off, you had entered the cave on the cart and had been slowly making your way down into the tunnel, following the tracks. You had reached a point where you moved past one of the glowing crystal lights, and there was a distinct click noise as the cart ran over a section of track. Somewhat familiar sound from other sections of things that you guys have messed with in the past and seen in the past, but you guys are not going, full speed this time. Bob and I believe Hen are chilling out on the cart itself because Bob is finally getting his much-needed long rest after not being able to rest.
Somebody woke him up very aggressively, and he's feeling like mistrusted.
It wasn't aggressive. Also, you don't have to be sleeping to long rest. Just a point of order there. As long as you're not doing anything strenuous, you're resting.
Oh, but I like
yeah,
rest.
but it also needs to be for 8 hours, so
It's true.
I imagine there's going to be some nappage in there. So as you guys are moving along, and then, yeah, we had Scott the Owl decided to go and do some scouting for us. I believe you guys were still in the red light section when we last left off.
Yeah, we kind of ended like right before the drop down.
That's right. Yes, there was a
where we
pitch
capped off.
change, a severe pitch change. What do you guys do? Keeping going?
Let's take a ride down the hill.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure nobody's sleeping on the brakes.
Well, up until now, you guys had kind of been pushing the cart along as opposed to using the levers to move it. So are you guys going to all get onto the cart, or are you guys going to continue to try to slowly just push it down?
I say we let gravity do its work. If we try and hold the brake, it's going to make squeaking noises. And
You guys hop
Trust
on
in
and
Mother Nature.
Father Physics.
yes, please. Everybody on, let's go.
Yep, let's do it.
Oh, I was actually
Ladder
pushing,
alert
so
the
I'm on
Balrog
back. I'm getting on back now.
All right. So you guys all hop on, get yourselves all comfortable, and then, Rinningham, what are you shaking your head for?
I have bad feelings, just in general.
Don't act on them.
It's a mine cart in the middle of a mine. That's where it's meant to be, right?
And they call it a mine. That's what he wants you to. That's what he wants us to think.
Mine.
I mean, this is where the cart's meant to be. Certainly, it's designed to not have any issues, provided that, the tracks remain in place and aren't up in the air like other tracks were. So I think we'll be fine.
Agreed.
As you guys hop onto the cart and then use the lever to push it down just the next bit so that gravity starts to take it, you get only a few feet before you see that the rails actually are molded slightly differently and seem to grip the wheels a little bit differently as the track begins to increase steepness and go down further as the cart begins to speed up under its own weight. And what was kind of like, oh, there's a light, and then there's another light, and then there's another light, starts to slowly pick up faster and faster as the lights go from red, all now to, I believe yellow was the next color. Maybe it was orange, but orange. Oh, that was orange. Orange, and slowly it gets brighter, and that goes to yellow. And as you guys are approaching what was roughly every 100 feet or so a light, you are now passing them every couple of seconds. Every couple of seconds, there's another light. And as soon as you pass the green lights, you see off in the distance the opening to a huge atrium. And as you go through, the track opens up into a giant switch track. Not anything like you've seen up ahead or up on the above as you guys were, going across different lanes. This is a giant dial in a room that's probably 300-400 feet wide with a perfect dome surface or perfect domed cap. And off in different directions, there are other tracks that are all kind of meeting into this dial. And as you're approaching it, you see the dial actually rotates and clicks into place for a moment as the cart grips it and takes you off in a direction. And you can see that there you're heading off towards the right.
Was there anything controlling it in the room? Like, can I look around and see, like, did someone move it?
Give me a
or did
perception
it
check.
Do it naturally? That's freaky.
Yeah.
Perception check. Here we go. Oh, we'll start it off with a natty 1, baby.
Oh, beautiful.
Right off the get. For a total of 2, though. Don't shortchange me.
You big blindy.
All right. I have very crude drawings of what this looks like so that I can give you guys a better idea here.
Ooh, I love this.
Kind of you. Okay, all right.
That's what that's the exact picture you painted in my head.
And then some of the rest of the description that I'll give as you pass through, because I missed it in the details, is kind of like this.
Oh, so that's the atrium that we're looking at then.
Yep. Yeah. This is why I need, art skills. So, at the top, similar to the crystals you guys had seen lighting the way, there was a large singular crystal that was, a yellowish white that kind of illuminated the whole space with dim but usable light. But your cart is now kind of just rocketing through. And as you guys are kind of careening down into the next tunnel and heading further down, you hear in the distance a similar noise to your cart kind of coming up towards the atrium. So it's as you guys are leaving it, it sounds like another one's coming in. And no sooner do the wheels of your cart click onto the next set of rails does the dais begin to turn again and rotate behind you.
And there's no discernible mechanism that's doing the control. It's just
unless someone else wants to try to make a straight perception check.
You know what? You only YOLO once. That's what the kids say. If I've learned anything from the kids, they say. But
did anybody see that? That was magic.
15.
It just did it by itself.
15. So unfortunately, no single mechanism stands out as particularly distinct. However, you do notice that some of the tracks are straight through, some of the tracks are curved on the dais, and there appear to be some that have stopping points on them, as if a train would be able to come in, stop, and then as the dais rotated and came into another place, it would move off in a different direction.
Was there any, would I have noticed moving that quickly, like a control house or like a smaller raised building, not building, but a control panel? No, nothing.
Similar to many of the other things, makes you wonder if this thing is already automated, like the rest of how they manage their stuff. So this next tunnel that you get popped down has the lights continue to change color again, and they go from green to yellow to orange, and you guys are continuing to pick up speed until you hear another distinct ka-chunk, and the brakes on your cart automatically engage and begin to screech loudly as your cart careens, not careens, that's the wrong word, but kind of comes in, and the lights begin to slow down as they're passing you again as you're going from orange to red, and you find yourself approaching a station.
Well, I'm not waiting to see who's waiting for us. And as it gets slow enough for me to be able to do a little jump and tuck and roll maneuver, I'm going to do a jump and tuck and roll maneuver.
So the cart slows down to about 30 feet before it hits a switch. And as it hits the switch is right as you open into what appears to be a large staging area for carts and train cars that has 4 bays in it.
Okay.
So are you trying to make that tuck and roll basically as you're hitting the entrance to this place?
Yeah, so while we're still in the tunnel, but before we enter the entire way station.
Okay.
Or station.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
I'm acrobatic as heck, boy. That was a 10. That was a 10 acrobatics.
That is a 10. You've long rested, right?
Yeah, let's go with no. Because I don't remember, and that sounds like an advantage.
You are able to, everyone watches as Rinningham just kind of like throws himself off of the the cart as it's, approaching the entryway.
I tucked and rolled. I jumped backwards instead of,
You do manage to land and roll.
Okay.
However, you misjudged a little bit how far you had to go backwards, and so you do kind of land a little bit hard, and you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, as instead of fully rolling, it's more just like a hit your shoulder hard.
I skip.
And then you kind of fall out, and you're like, okay. But you're not completely, you're not knocked prone, you're not just like sprawled down on your back, you landed a little harder than...
Got some road rash.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a touch.
Little
Anyone else, as you guys are approaching, wish to do anything? Seeing as Rinningham decided to just bail out.
No, I'm watching Rinningham bail out.
Theo winces in sympathy. That's what Theo does.
Yeah.
You take a point of sympathy damage.
No.
Point of psychic damage for sympathy.
Rinningham does not deserve any of that.
All right. So Rinningham is back on the track. The rest of you guys kind of ride in on this cart, and it automatically, you hear it click as you approach, and you switch over and kind of careen off to the right. And you hear another switch as it takes you into, of the 4 bays, you guys are in the 3rd one. In the other 3 bays around you, there are large single mine carts. Not mine carts, the trains, similar to what you guys had seen up at the surface. These are just intact. There doesn't appear to be much activity going on here, just a couple of people just kind of straggling about, wandering. The cars there are mostly empty.
There are people here.
And there's just a couple of people who just kind of look at you as you guys approach, and then they just go on their way and head into, there's like a tunnel. Similar to think of like a subway station, where it's just kind of like, oh, you've come into this station, and now there's like hey, that's the route to get wherever isn't here.
Is there signage that says what station in the subway we've come to, I guess, to use your analogy?
Charing Cross Station.
Right. Are we in the mines, which was the general goal?
Yeah, also, there's passenger carts in here, and we roll in a mine cart?
I mean, you guys were on the hand cart.
Is there like a conductor or a ticket taker somewhere?
No. Ticket taker for mines.
Why don't you jump off
into the line?
I thought we were in like a...
You know what? Roll me some percentile dice. We'll see who shows up.
We'll see who shows up.
Okay,
and then the gang gets arrested for skipping fare because they don't have tickets.
I've seen Indiana Jones.
I'm not optimistic, but I've tried the auto roller to see. 16%.
Hey.
As you guys kind of look around, there's a couple of curious people. They're just kind of like popping their heads out, or they're looking up from their conversations and just kind of glance over at the lot of you, because the regular cars, there's a couple steps to get up into them. You guys are lower to the ground, so in order to even get up onto the platform, you'll have to climb a little bit. They're just kind of looking at you. No one's really questioning it. They're more curious than anything else. No one seems here to be of any semblance of authority. They all are wearing the same rough, grayish work uniform. They're all kind of dirty. They're all kind of haggard. And to answer your question, Clore, there is, over that doorway, a symbol that looks like a giant flame. It's just a giant flame, like 3-pronged, like floofs of fire. Not terribly dissimilar to like the Fire Nation emblem, just with extra, wisps of fire kind of going up on the sides of it.
There's no sort of writing in any language or anything.
Nope, it's just a very simple symbol of a flame.
Cool. Is everyone headed in the same general direction? Like, there's one way to go in and out, or is it like multiple different?
With the trains, there's only one way to go, and then with the this passageway, it appears to be just one way.
Well, kind of limits our options. Let's you want to go or turn around?
I mean, it makes more sense to get out and at least walk around rather than just sticking in here and what? Sitting here in a non-moving cart?
Bob, you rested long enough, or?
Yeah, that's a question I don't think we've actually addressed. I don't know if we managed to squeeze in a short rest or a long rest.
Unfortunately, you have not managed to yet squeeze in your long rest. I'm sorry.
Oh, so it's a short rest.
It is a short rest.
Okay, don't
anybody you're trying to replenish your
wounded.
spells.
Do what now? Did you say?
I said I know you're trying to replenish your spells.
Did I hear you say that my spells are back?
That is not, unfortunately, what I said.
I could have swore that's what you said. Huh. Are you sure?
I'm quite positive.
This isn't like the alleyway. You can't just keep asking the same question.
The Tarrasque arrives. Steps on
It's
Bob.
worth a try.
Whole new character.
I beg to differ. I restarted the computer 7 times today, and the 7th time fixed the damn issue, and I was hit.
Yay! Good job.
See, I've just got to ask the question 6 more times. So my spells are back, right?
I jump off the cart and start walking toward where Rinningham is to make fun of him for jumping off the cart early.
Theo follows after.
As I exit the tunnel and into the station, I see there's other people here, and I see that there's passenger carts. I say, well, luckily all these people are here to see that, to know that I do business, and I am able to do what I want and go where I want and jump when I please. I'm not bound by these rules, and I just start walking off in a
limp
direction. With a limp, naturally.
Are you okay? Rinningham? Look like quite the tumble that you took.
Oh, I'm fine. It's nothing I've never been through before. It's just some light abrasions.
You fall off mine carts an awful lot.
I fall more than you would think, yes. For being so close to the ground.
It's not
We're
a
good
long way to
friends.
go. Rinningham, I think you should lead this part of the investigation. I'm following you.
You know, it's about time that someone's recognized my skills. And I just start in a direction. One of the open ways.
All right.
And I'm loudly talking about the person that we're looking for. What was their name? Like Brad? Charlemagne?
I want you to keep guessing.
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep.
Eric?
Yeah.
Pauline?
Hollering out random names into the crowd.
This is
See who responds.
This is canon. This is canon right here. This is Rinningham yelling names.
That's actually what I was about to get to. Is that all right? So Rinningham, just kind of lifts himself up onto the cart and then lifts himself up onto the platform and just starts hollering out names as he goes towards the door. And a bunch of the workers around just kind of look at him.
Georgette.
Look at the rest of you guys. One of the guys
Maurice.
comes up. He's just very tired and haggard looking. He's just like, "You guys looking for someone in particular?"
Why, yes. Thank you. Someone with a little bit of moxie, trying to help out the common folk. We're looking for a person.
I've never had moxie. What's moxie?
It's
some of the good stuff.
Moxie it's a personality trait. It's one that you, sir, seem to exhibit in spades. And you're very helpful, and you have a lot of comeuppance. You're really willing to stand up and stand out, and that's something that we appreciate. But we're looking for someone who has disappeared.
Well, then how are you supposed to find them if they've disappeared?
With your help, I believe we together can find this person. Now, what do you know about the people around here?
Well, there's lots of them. They like to go to and fro like me.
Where are you going?
Right now, I'm just waiting for the shift to end because I'm not really. He just kind of trails off.
Where did you come from?
Oh, well, the foundry's that way. And he gestures.
Where do you go?
I'm going to the barracks.
And where did you come from?
The foundry.
Where did you go?
Your name's Joe. All right, so I'm just gonna start walking off towards the barracks.
I don't know a Joe. And just kind of trails off as you, I guess, walk away.
Oh boy.
Good times.
Rinningham. You're doing great.
Yes, I know.
Okay. All right, let's go. I pull my hood a little further over my head to try and hide my smile and just my genuine enjoyment of Rinningham trying to come up with his name.
And as we're walking towards the barracks, I'm just kind of going, I'm
No.
muttering, but slightly loudly to myself. Was it Jean? Jeanette? Karen? Kyle? Carmichael?
Do these workers now, because this is what Clore's been trying to figure out, do they look like they're wearing the same type of garb as our friends, as our changeling friends? Are we in the right place? There we go. That's all I care about. Awesome. Sorry.
As you guys head into the exit, takes a sharp turn, and then there are stairs that head down even further. And as you reach the bottom, it opens up, and as you turn around, suddenly there's a lot more noise and there's a lot of heat. Just an uncomfortable, easily approaching 100, 110, dry, radiant, just kind of punches you as you guys are walking out of the exit of the train station.
So is this what they call the boiler, then? Is that the word that guy used?
This feels like summer.
You said the barracks.
If you guys thought that the atrium where the trains had gone through was large, this place is enormous. It is completely dug out underground, and across probably a good 50, 60 yards across, you can see multiple structures of different age built out of slightly different materials, two of which have double wide tracks coming in and out of them with huge bays, and you can see that there are carts that are sitting on them, but they're more, you can move buildings. They are, when you think of like a regular dump truck and then you think of the ones that take up an entire like 2-lane highway, it's like that scale in terms of the size and how much material you can see that one of these carts is moving or capable of moving. And there's lots of people all kind of dressed similarly, different levels of soot cover and cleanliness, and just all kind of moving about, and some are carrying carts, some are carrying just materials on their shoulders and just kind of walking around. Some are coming in and out of these structures that are across the way, and I don't even have a good sense of scale for the size of this place. But you're basically sitting in the, standing in the entrance to what is an industrial. It is a Grand Central industrial complex.
Interesting.
So, guys, I've been thinking here. I mean, I know exactly why we came here too, but my question is, do you think it would be useful if we were to figure out who those fellas who looked a lot alike were pretending to be? Like, would that be, a good place to maybe start to try to figure out about those folks?
About the shapeshifters?
I think that's
probably anyone they want.
Right, but they all picked the, so Theo's line of thinking here is that they all picked the same, like, halfling-looking person, with the same, type of work clothes, right? Which means they all have to have, seen this guy at one point. So his kind of line of thinking here is like, and that's Theo's assumption at least, but his line of thinking here is kind of like, if we figure out who they were, then that might be a good place to start to find out more about them.
If we could find the people they were emulating, we might be able to find them.
That's what we're doing. That's where we are. Like that's why I'm asking, guys. So like we have these people are wearing the same things that the changelings decided they wanted to look like. So I think what we should do is find someone in charge and ask if people have been missing shifts, ask if anything weird's been going on, right? Because that's kind of our only lead right now, is why would they try and choose to look like the miners, right? So we're in a room full of miners. We haven't people who mine, people who work in the mine.
I don't know if Penn is allowed within a few hundred yards.
So
why would I have anything to do with it?
So we can talk to the people who mine and find out if someone's missing, or maybe we can see the original person that they look like.
You know where they would probably have like a schedule? In the barracks.
I mean, and that also where people go, to sleep.
We don't even have this
and
guy's name. What's the schedule gonna do for us?
and get along.
We
with
get the
each other,
guy's
so-
name.
You'll see.
We
You'll
get
see like
all
the
of the names
schedule,
of
and you'll
everyone
see
working.
people that are
No,
checking
so-
off and punching cards. And
No, so
Okay, but maybe we start in the barracks anyway, because it's a smaller group of people, right? That's like where they all live, right? I mean, that's what a barracks is, right? Is where people like live and sleep, right?
also, this is the same changeling that was described to me, right? That I can change into
Yes.
and
Yes.
show people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so Chlor looks at Penn and goes, "Ta-da!" and like turns into the changeling, and then
Oh, I love it when you
It's
do
like-
that.
we can just ask if they've seen this person and get their name, and then go from there, and then immediately turns back.
We should have just stayed as him, so we could have just thrown you into the crowd and asked who you were.
Hey, do you know who I am?
grabbing people by the shoulders. Who am I?
That's all you have to do. Someone will know your name.
Mind you, as you
there.
guys are all standing here talking about this in the entranceway, people are like trying to have to move around you to get up the way.
Can I look
I'm
around?
getting
Can I look
bumped,
around
I'm
and see if
going,
anybody
"Excuse me,
recognized
sir."
when I did that?
Say
Did
that one more
anybody?
time.
Did anyone recognize when I did that?
No, a couple people looked at you funky because they were like, as you poof turned into another person, then poof turned back. Just like, what the?
So let's find someone in charge and ask them who that person is, and then we can go from there.
Roll me some
Rinningham?
percentile dice.
Oh
Oh, I was about to take off.
no. Let's see what we come up with. Roll to everyone. Oh, 0, 0, and so 9.
As you guys are talking about this, and just as you turn to be like, all right, well, let's go start showing this off to people, you hear a very loud whistle just kind of chirp just from the one building right across the way. And then after that whistle chirps, just a quick, all of a sudden, all of the other buildings, and then you can hear it echoing from way off to the left and way off to the right. You hear just a cacophony of like, as all the buildings begin to chirp in pattern, and people just start funneling out of the buildings, and other people start funneling into the buildings.
Shift work, baby.
Shift work, baby. And you are like, I want to change into this guy and see who recognizes me, right as there's a shift change. And there's
Oh.
tons of people.
What do I do?
I don't know, what do you do? There's tons of options.
No, that was me
There's just
asking
now
them.
there's now just hundreds of
Yeah,
people.
maybe we call their attention to it. I mean, they're
Sure,
just
you
getting under
just
their
change
shit.
and we'll have Rinningham play us a ballad. It'll get everyone's attention.
Ooh,
Yeah,
we
it's
can
a
just
good
have them
idea.
start shouting.
Rinningham,
Immediate-
you're really good at catching attention, and
Immediate great idea. I am now changed into the changeling, or into the. No, I guess not changeling, but into the
no,
shift
the
work.
shape
into
that
the
they
guy.
took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so I take out my instrument.
Here we go.
Really
Here we go.
here. It's gonna sound
Please.
great.
Please describe the instrument in detail.
So I have an instrument that I'm going to play for you. It's a very exotic instrument. No one's ever seen this. This is me, Ezra. So I understand that we need to attract a lot of attention. Now I have in my possession a very relatively unknown instrument. It attracts a lot of attention everywhere I go. I'm an expert player. I was taught by a man many years older than me even, the ways and the wherefores of this instrument, and I can play it expertly and with pitch perfect noise control. So all you need to do, Chlor, is dance.
Are you giving me inspiration for my performance check that I'm inevitably going to have to take?
I mean, you'll just get inspiration once you hear what's happening. And so,
Are there a set of stairs anywhere that I can run up to the top of?
You're just running up and down the stairs. I mean, you're running into people. You're throwing elbows.
I'm glad this is recorded.
Yeah.
Me too.
I came so far out of left field that wasn't what I was expecting. All the instruments that I could have thought Rinningham would have picked as the most obnoxious, and it's perfect.
Rinningham, I need a performance check out of you.
Are you gonna give me advantage? I mean, that was really good, DM.
Do you need a performance check? That's a natural.
Who's this performance check for, honestly?
That was a performance.
That's so.
No.
Is it with advantage? No advantage. Probably not advantage. That's a 9.
No one's heard that instrument before. That's
See, they're busy. You know, they're not expecting this outpouring of emotion.
These guys are
It's loud.
You can tell they're so used to having to run everything in their life down here by the clock, and so they're running past. They're moving past. You got people who are, running up the stairs and everything behind you guys, and they're just kind of like glancing over at you, like, "Oh, that's interesting," and they're looking at whatever Chlor's doing. Are you actually just bumping into people, or are you just kind of like, what do you?
So if you've seen a boxing match, it might as well be my entrance song to a boxing match. I am walking through the crowd, shoulders nice and wide, as the smaller person I've changed into, and I'm purposefully like bumping into people and just like bobbing around, like just totally amped up,
trying to get some attention.
Yeah, totally amped up, just like. If I piss somebody off so that they really look at me, I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm just kind of moving them around, and everyone's kind of trying to get where they're going, and I'm walking against the grain. See if someone recognizes me.
It's like the mosh pit at a Flogging Molly's concert.
I'm trying to figure out how to address this in particular, as you are trying to also get people's attention, and you are doing it by literally ramming into people.
I gotta get people to look at me. I don't know.
Yeah, because you have bardic inspiration from the splendid music that was playing.
I think the way that Chlor would do that would be if Rinningham is playing, he would be bumping into people, but in a perfect circle around Rinningham's music. So he's staying within the notes of the beautiful ballad that is being.
I'm also firing sparks off.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See. I needed to know the fullness of this performance.
I got a little prestidigitation action.
Just for shiggles and gits, give me that. You know what? You had fireworks. Give me advantage on that performance check.
Yay!
Oh yeah, here we go.
You didn't tell me you had fireworks, man. How'd I know?
That's a 17.
Oh my gosh! See, that makes a world of a difference compared to a 9.
Prestidigitation, just throwing them out. Little pop and little pop at the high notes. You know what I mean?
Yep. So what starts off as a, interesting performance, and you have Dave, as Chlor, Chlor jumping around, just kind of like popping into people. You do start attracting a bit of a crowd. However, they're all kind of confused and concerned, as there's a Verdan just kind of playing a song, dancing around, shooting off sparks.
Beautifully, playing a song beautifully.
There's a guy dressed in the same garb as they are, just completely, as far as they're concerned, off his rocker, running around, dancing around, while they're all trying to move back and forth.
They're not wrong.
And one of the guys turns to is like, was there supposed to be a scheduled performance? I didn't see anything on the calendar. Is there?
Flash mob.
Who are these people? Like, what is going on? And gesture over at you, Chlor, like, is it time for a shift change? Like, what are you doing? Like, we don't have time for this. As people, some people are stopping and staring and just kind of slowly circling around you. Other people are still trying to they peek at what's going on, and then they continue up the stairs. No one seems to recognize you though, Chlor. No one seems to make any statements about you or your personage, as they're more just annoyed that you're touching them, because they're already gonna be, crammed in with, they're heading up towards where the carts are, and you know how that is.
That's fair.
Does he know?
That's fair. So I don't think this is working. Should I do a little jig?
While that's happening, Theo is gonna find someone who's kind of like watching the goings on and just kind of pull him aside for a quick question.
All right. So this it's a half orc, and he's kind of just a little bit taller than you are.
Sorry, sir. Got a question here. We're doing some follow up for the city guard on various issues here. Could you direct me to the barracks, please?
Oh yeah, it's looks around, gestures off towards out from the entrance, off to the right. He's like, a long walk though. Most people are, try to get back up and try to get on the carts because that's where the carts are headed.
So we get on the carts now. We can head to the barracks with the rest of the group.
Yeah, they fire off in timing. You're gonna want to get on there before the doors shut.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. And then Theo's gonna call out to the group. He's gonna say, "Hey guys, if we're gonna go to the barracks, we should follow them and get on the carts before they leave."
You can walk it. It's just it'll take you a while.
Or we could walk. I appreciate your help, sir. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Carts. Let's go.
Follow the group.
So you guys get shuffled back up. And
I'm not dropping this guy's self, by the way. I'm gonna leave it.
No sooner do you guys pass back through like the threshold of the station, does the temperature immediately drop to comfortable again.
Oh, thank goodness.
Comparatively, it's
that
actually
was
quite
hot.
chilly. And then you guys can see that your hand cart, is no longer on the tracks.
Go on.
In the few minutes that you guys had been there, the handcart appears to have been moved, and you can see it is sitting off to the side, basically just out of the way of the train tracks. So some people have taken that just completely off for now. It's just kind of sitting there on the side.
And this is still in the kind of the wheelhouse area.
No. This is the actual station.
Okay, gotcha.
I actually have a drawing for that one too, so I could.
Yay!
I had times to do that. This is what made me go I need an art taste. So stations kind of look something like that.
That's so cool.
That's the carts, and then
that's very cool.
There is the others. See,
Yeah,
I have
so
time
good.
to do. I have time to do these things sometimes, and then so you can kind of see there's multiple carts.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
And so that's kind of the layout we're going for, and maybe someday I'll own that. But there's also a actual personnel cart in the space where your hand cart had been, and people are like actively shuffling in. And as you guys step up above the threshold of the cart furthest off to the right, you hear the doors kind of creak shut, and then you hear a click, 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 clunk, and it launches up, and you see it go straight up that way that you guys had just come down.
Let's get on one.
All right. Yeah, sure. That sounds like a plan.
There's
Another train ride, guys!
People who are shuffling into these carts.
Join them, and then
This is working well.
as we're shuffling in, I'm just like, you going to the barracks? Like, you going to the barracks? Just come on, John.
Yeah. What do you mean?
This is the right one.
And they look at you guys.
Just checking, you know.
This is one of the first person to kind of, as you guys are shuffled into the cart, he's just kind of still there with you. He's this, another, just tall, burly human, just, easily like 6'6", just kind of built. Smells like metal. Like, honestly, if you smell, like, you've ever seen like the steel bars of soap, it has a distinct, metallic, and he just kind of stinks of that, but he's relatively clean comparatively. It just seems to have been around stuff, and he just kind of looks down at you all. What are you guys doing here? You hear the doors shut.
Thing is you.
We are working for the city guard, following up on an incident that happened recently. So we're trying to find the barracks so we can look for information about someone who looks like my buddy.
Oh.
And he points to Clore.
That's me.
So you don't actually work here. Got it.
No, we don't. So we're not really trying to disturb anyone. We're just trying to kind of let y'all do what you're doing while we get what information we're able to.
While you guys are talking, the carts, even though your doors are shut, the other carts kind of click off first and kind of launch off. And the next one.
You know, we missed
off.
the opportunity for the perfect answer.
Oh, what was that?
We're working in a coal mine. We're going down and down.
The fourth wall takes 5 damage. And he just kind of is like, well, this is going to take you to the... And as he says it launches. The clicking is almost silent inside this car. And everyone just kind of like grips on to something and then just kind of stabilizes as the carts just kind of launch up. And you see it goes red. Or sorry, green. No, red, yellow, or orange, green. And then you're back at the giant atrium. And this cart kind of comes up, and as it crosses over where that there's a slight pitch change as it approaches the atrium, and you hear a familiar clink, and the brakes on the cart begin to engage as it slides into one of those stops on the dais. And not seconds later, you feel the whole thing start to shift sideways as the dais begins to rotate. And it clicks about halfway between where you guys had started, and you can see off there's another tunnel as another car just kind of zips through one of the fully connected paths and goes from just one tunnel into a different one. And then another couple seconds pass and the dais begins to rotate again, and you can see some of the other carts are on some of these other stopped positions, and as they reach a tunnel, the whole thing stops for a moment and then kicks off and fires them down through that next tunnel. And then moments later, it begins to rotate again. So you guys have time in the car while the whole thing is rotating, and you can see out the windows what all is going on.
Amazingly complicated.
As opposed to the rush full speed ahead that you were dealing with before.
Make your camera focus. I'm starting to hurt my eyes looking at you.
That's really rude to say. I think he looks pretty good.
There we go.
Okay.
Great.
Well, yeah, Theo's just kind of enjoying the experience. This is kind of a new thing for him. He's very excited. This is things to write home about later once he finally gets more paper. And writing implements, since his were taken by the guards.
Jerks that they may be.
There's no constitution here.
They're just doing their jobs.
You guys are visitors. You have no rights.
The law does not apply to us.
No, it doesn't.
Both ways.
That guy, that worker that got on with us and was really confused.
Yeah.
I just
Still just kind of there.
I just want to look at him and be like, hey, you come here often? See what he says.
Just kind of shrugs. It's like, you think that's the first time I've heard that joke before?
Well, if it's not, then y'all must have a really funny sense of humor.
You've never been in a foundry, have you?
What is that?
Pen's just gonna laugh out loud for the record. Oh, this is going great.
He closes his eyes, kind of squeezes them for a second. You guys are here looking for somebody, and you guys are going to the barracks to go find the somebody, and you don't even understand where you are.
No, I just know what they look like, and I just point to my own face. Do you care to enlighten me, or are you just gonna...
At least you guys have the wherewithal to be heading in the right direction, though where you were was not necessarily the wrong direction, because whoever that guy is could be any of one of many places, assuming he's even here. Do you know a name? Anyone we can go off of besides generic
We're hoping you knew his
Ginger?
name.
Anyone we can go off of, so you're gonna help us. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Is it Randy?
What?
I don't have a name. Rinningham's trying to remember a name that we never got, and I don't have a name. I don't have a name, but I'd be happy if you help me.
Ethan.
Whoever's in charge.
Quentin.
Okay.
Yeah, so at the barracks is where I'll just take you guys there. And as you guys are wrapping up this conversation, you hear the clicking slightly louder this time before you are suddenly launched backwards as the train is now going in the opposing direction down another tunnel. And he just kind of braces himself for a moment, and then the train just continues, and the lights do the same thing where it goes from green to red. And as you guys approach, you hit another one of these switches, and the train comes back into place. It's about the same length of trip between the foundry and the atrium, and then the atrium to this next station. And this next station is very similar in format. Instead of only having 4 bays, it has 8. And then the entranceway is actually 2 to 3 times larger. And you can see that there's more activity and more people coming in and out of the cars that are down here, as some of these cars appear to also be able to go off in a different direction, as opposed to up towards the atrium where you guys were coming from. And he just kind of, the guy, as the doors open, he just kind of steps off. He's like, just I'll take you to the foreman, and we'll figure out who is this guy.
Wait, before you do
Thank
that,
you.
What's your name, since we're obviously at a lack of names?
I get all your names first.
I don't know my name. I'm whatever this guy's name is.
Sure, my name is Theo. Theo Bayless. Nice to meet you.
It's Theo.
Orville. Lance.
No, you're Rinningham, Rackfordshire House.
Jimothy.
Okay.
He's still trying to guess the other guy. Sorry, just.
All right, and
Roger.
you over there, nature fella. No, no one's gonna ask something. Okay.
I'm sorry. What are you pointing at?
That's Bob.
Just gesturing. Bob. Okay.
Hmm?
Bob. Got it. And then with the horns.
Oh, and part of my identity.
I don't think he's stealing your identity. He was asking for your name. It's polite conversation.
It's like a chunk of my reflection gone.
William.
Xavier.
Well,
That's Pin.
I'm Wavehelm.
Wavehelm. Nice to meet you.
Wavehelm. And I'll
And
just.
You clearly hate your job.
Actually, I take a lot of pride in my work. It's just very tiring to work 12-hour shifts.
I have to deal with morons all day.
Yeah, you work 5 12s straight, and then
I
you tell me.
I can kind of understand that. You do a lot of hard work on the farm too. It can be long, exhausting days, especially around harvest time. So, I'm sure that you'll sleep very well tonight, sir. Like you put in a hard day.
That's an understatement.
I do have a question, though. I am curious. What is a foundry?
And I look up from the while trying to remember this name, and I say, "Oh, a foundry." Well, a foundry is a place where people gather when they've lost something, and they all try to help each other find it. So everyone here, that's why we're here, because we lost this person. And I gesture to Clore, and we lost this person. We're trying to find them, so we go to the foundry.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, well, thank you for the clarification, Rinningham. I appreciate it. That's another new word that I learned.
I just thought it was a bar.
Pen is gonna make sure to watch for this dude if he tries to clarify what a foundry really is. Pen's just gonna interrupt and put his hand on his mouth no. This is fine. This is good. Just let them.
just let it happen.
Just let it happen. Don't correct this.
Wavehelm, you go ahead. You lead us on. We're following you.
And he just looks at you guys and just, I should not have said anything. Takes you through, and Whereas before you had to go through like a rather, large amount of steps to get down to the bottom where the foundry was. This is only a handful of steps before you are in another huge cavernous section. And it's just about as busy as the other place was as soon as the whistles were blowing, except there's more general structures. You're looking at what is a bit of a shanty town, but with some clearly some formal intention on where some of the larger buildings are placed along the walls, and then just random carts and random things kind of all set up in the middle. And Wavehelm just kind of just looks at you guys, kind of gets into a point where he can roughly gesture all around the place. It's about the same voluminous size as the foundry, if only slightly smaller. All right, there's the mess. There's the actual quarters. Go down that way, and that'll bring you back towards the foundry. Okay, so the tunnel's directly behind me. The long walk, it's the old route to the mines themselves. We still use it from time to time. It's also used as a ventilation shaft at this point. All the materials otherwise from the mines get put on carts, used through the switch system, and those get trucked to the supply depot, and that's on the opposite side of the foundry. Over behind me, off besides that, there's that's the regular supply station. If you it's like a commissary style. You can either buy with cash directly, or you can put it on your tab credit for your work. Next to that, and it's this building next to the supplies has lights and has you can hear boisterous laughter and activity, and he's like, that tavern literally is never dull. There's always something going on there, because I don't know if you've noticed, there's no clocks down here. The lights don't change at all, so you sleep when you're not on shift. Otherwise, you're not typically, resting. Yeah. He's just kind of trailing, and right next to that is management. You're going to want to go there to figure out who this guy is, because they should know, maybe. If not there, then the actual housing over there.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your guidance, sir, and I hope that you have a good rest and that you find whatever it is that you are looking for, sir.
Yeah, go sleep off those points of exhaustion, man.
Fourth wall takes 5 more damage.
You took my joke from me, like, literally as I'm getting ready to say it, and so I'm like, all right.
Sorry.
Snatched it from the jaws of the
comedian.
No. You're welcome to do that. It's just I wasn't expecting it, so it's just like, okay then. He just kind of turns. He's like, takes 2 steps. I can take you wherever you need to go if you need contacts, people to just. I'm already in this far.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Oh, come on, then.
Drop the NPC.
DM, we want to take him to Endgame with us, whatever that might be. He's now part of the party. We're getting this guy some levels.
That was a joke. That was not a serious comment.
I'm thinking fighter. Should we go fighter for him?
He's gonna get a long rest and then be the most badass barbarian we've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
No.
He just starts walking. We're gonna go to management first and see. And he just kind of lazily just kind of starts walking that way, and people just kind of seem to give him some berth. They just kind of, as carts and people are moving around, they just kind of give him some room, and you can see in general he pretty much towers over everybody. There are half orcs, there are full orcs, humans, elves, half elves. Like, there's a whole modge podge of just different people and races all working down here. You can see the occasional lizard person. There are some lizard folk who are moving along. Typically they are just hauling carts. And they're just kind of all moving around. There doesn't seem to be nearly as many hobgoblins or goblins, in general, at least from what you can see walking around down here.
What is it that you do on your shift?
Wave Helm. That's his name.
Yeah. Thank you, Rinningham. We got that name. We need the other name.
Yes, my name is Wave Helm. Yes.
What is it you do, Wave Helm?
Mark? Nathan.
Anyway, I'm a shift. I'm a shift lead in the Central Foundry. So the ore gets dropped off over at the staging zone by the shipping and supply depot. That gets put on some of those large carts. Those get moved into the refinery itself. That's where all the ore and materials from the mine section come from. It's not the most efficient system, but it's a system that works. From there, it goes directly piped from the refinery into where I work, which is the foundry, where we take the raw materials, oftentimes coming in just above, or just cooled beyond below liquid, and we start shaping it. We start turning it into bars. We start turning it into sheets and supplies, different beams, whatever is required up by the city or further down in the mines themselves in order to shore up the structure as we continue to dig. It's my job to coordinate a team of people. I happen to work on the section that does I-beams.
So I got a question too. With the mining and stuff, right? Do the miners ever use things that make things, explode?
Great.
I mean, probably, yeah. I've never really worked in the mine section. My dad started off as a refiner, and I ended up in the foundry just because that's what worked. Yeah, I've never had to worry about that. I do know occasionally that there are collapses. We can usually feel them up here. It's a faint rumble. Kicks up dust, and he gestures over at the tunnel. He's like, kicks up dust over there, but that's when they bring the mages in to actually blow the dust back down to get fresh air down there, and we know it's closed if the dust comes back out when we're blowing air down. But
with so many people working in tight, dangerous quarters, is there ever any unrest amongst the races down here?
Oh, I mean, we're all kind of working on this stuff together, and they try their best to keep the peace. But they have earlier folks like me working the foundries because we can haul around the larger materials a bit easier, and then they have kind of the more general people working at different layers in the mines. You have the lizard folks. They can kind of crawl along a lot better. Everyone seems to just kind of fit a niche role. So if you're wily and can kind of fit through small places, that's what they try to do. Prospecting. Yep, and try to see what's further down some of these veins that have gaps. Everyone just kind of seems to respect the roles, because if you don't, people will die. Occasionally there's, to answer your question, it's not unheard of, but it's not common, usually not down here.
Is there any between the upper echelons and the workers of the place? Any bad blood between those who dictate the union contracts and whatnot?
He just kind of looks at you like, I have an idea what you mean by union contracts. The way this all the answer is yes and no, because they all things considered, believe it or not, the air down here is actually almost as clean as the air up there. Most of the people who are worried about things up at the surface are more concerned with family members and individuals who don't work and spend their time down here, but a lot of us just spend all of our time down here, so makes decent enough money. I'm still able to get by. Plus, all came to it. Most of my stuff gets handled through the company anyway, so I pocket my gold and just kind of work it. So yeah, there's like I said, nothing's been unheard of really, but things have been relatively all right.
All right. Well, thank you.
And as he says this, you guys are now approaching. It's a gray stone structure. Appears to be made of, just rough hewn stone, probably just things pulled up from the deeper levels of the mine. But it's been smoothed out just enough that it, looks kind of halfway decent. And it's a, large metal door and kind of ajar already. And just kind of pulls it open.
Oh, you said it was a door.
Damn it, I was going to make that joke.
Oh, Shelby, that was a good one.
I told myself I missed you guys. I told myself I missed you guys.
I saw him going for the punchline. I was like, no, I've got this one.
You're regretting that now, aren't you, Doug?
No, he misses every bit of this.
I told myself I missed you guys. I told myself I missed you guys.
All of it.
So Wavehelm just kind of pushes open the door and then gestures for you guys to get in, to go.
Theo follows the directions.
Yeah, we're going.
It's slightly brighter inside here than what was out in the greater barracks section. Actually, what I failed to mention was that the greater barracks and also the foundry have a collection of those large crystals that you saw in the atrium, just kind of across the ceiling, and it generates a mostly dim, with some sections that appear to be slightly brighter, light. It's enough to function in, whereas this room has a rather stark contrast of brightness to it. And there's a couple of desks, a couple of large orcs, half orcs, just kind of sitting there thumbing through papers. And in the back, there's a rather portly goblin. And he has multiple piercings in his ears, all gold, and seeing you guys all walk in gives a big toothy grin of,
"We've got some visitors. Well. Hi. What's going on? What, Wavehelm, my friend, my buddy. How's, been a while since I seen you. Since, last Thursday on payday. What are these lot?
This guy's a little creepy."
And just nudges Chlor forward and goes, "Have you seen this man?"
Yeah, he's right there in front of you.
I know. Oh, that's a joke. Okay, I got you. That was a good one, sir.
Yeah, I've seen this guy. What do I want to know about this guy?
Anything you can
seen him
tell
before
us.
now.
I've seen him before now. He's one of my guys. Works in the mines. He's supposed to be on his mines.
Congratulations. This is his twin brother. We're trying to reunite him. He doesn't remember his name. Can you help us find him?
Just kind of stares at you.
It's, interesting. Very unlikely. But, fine. Whatever. Under whose authority, other than you being any fictional twin brother, because there's no freaking way that I wouldn't know, under whose orders are you looking for this information? Because
we're working
for the badge.
Yeah, we're working for the city guard.
I'm just flashing the badge.
Ah, that authorization. I see. Well,
1 second. And from his desk, he hops down and you can see his whole body just kind of as he comes on over, and he's basically the same height as Rinningham. He's looking up at you, Chlor.
I drop this guy's self, but only from the neck up. And I go, boo. And then I bring it back.
What the? Twin brother, my ass. All right. So, you almost got me there. You're clever. You're funny. You're a real smart guy. All right. So, Wavehelm, why do you bring this crazy bunch of law doers and lawbringers to my humble establishment?
Oh, he's showing us around because he's trying to help us out. Because he respects the law, and he wants to make sure that if anybody's in trouble or missing, that we can rectify the situation. He's doing his duty.
He wants to make sure that in our reports to Captain...
To the captain.
Captain!
Oh.
Captain of the Guard. All right. So,
And Wavehelm's like, I'd rather just direct them right to you than let them wander about and cause a ruckus, because let's just say they were putting on a show over by the foundry when I ran into them. Yeah.
Know how to cause a ruckus.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I'm just gonna stick around in case you tell me to take them somewhere specific, and I don't want them, getting lost.
All right, well,
Continues to look at you, Clark.
you're definitely one of the miners, but let's just say that roster's not exactly as watertight as, say, the higher up folks like Wavehelm here, who actually manages people. Because every so often when accidents happen, if they don't have a next of kin, I don't necessarily need to report it nowhere. So I will need to look to see who might be on the books for this guy, because I definitely recognize the face.
So are you saying that this guy is no longer with you?
No, I'm just
paid under the table.
Look, no one's saying nothing specific about anything. I'm just saying that
His pay stubs look a little bit different than Wavehelm's here did.
Oh, distinctly different. It's just totally different when you're dealing with the miners as opposed to the foundry workers. It's a totally different set of books. We've got internal books, you see here, because the miners have to supply the supply centers. The supply centers route things to the foundry and the refinery, and also there's the machining section, which does more works for the things, and you also got the power plant. So you got different things for different books, for different groups, for different people.
It just keeps getting more and more fishy.
All I'm saying is that the largest portion of my labor force happens to be the guys who dig up the crap that we have to go and deal with.
That's the miners.
Yeah. And so my record's with them because they also, most people start... Come here.
He goes and sits down at his desk.
People work here because they don't ask too many questions.
Exactly. See, this guy here gets it. You don't come to work here, especially as a miner, if you're not looking to make some money under the table, but also kind of legit. You can go into the city, the guard says, hey, where do you work? You say the mines. They're not going to ask too many questions. They come to me and say, hey, does this guy work in the mines? I'm going to say, yeah, because I got a good memory like that. I recognize you almost immediately. You started working for us like 6-8 months ago. He's not that bad. It hasn't been that long. Now, that's
Do you still see me regularly?
See, that's the thing, though. The miners, they get paid by the day, by people who work in the foundries, especially, more the technical labor. They get paid slightly, less regular cadence because the funds are a little bit higher. So we don't necessarily. We got to make sure the money's in the coffers in order to do that. Whereas the day laborers, he hasn't wanted to move up and he hasn't made a ruckus, so I haven't seen him very much. Occasionally, see people passing by and, he's one of the only gingers down here, and so he takes his hat off and poof, there's a little red head, walking around down there. And that's about it. I got the one guy.
Well, so, what about his friends? I mean, he's been here for 6 to 8 months, right? He's got to have some pals around here.
Let's just say that people of our stature, and he kind of gestures to the other, the half-orcs and orcs in the room, just kind of like listening in on the conversation, and the one guy is just kind of like has a toothpick and he's playing with one of his tusks with it. We don't necessarily associate much more than we have to. Wavehelm here is kind of one of those folks who's just like, let's keep track of morale over there in the foundry. He's might be a little stoic, but he's a pretty swell guy. He's got a good heart and pretty fine numbers management.
Wavehelm does seem like a very nice gentleman, yes. Oh, well then, I mean, you mentioned...
Wavehelm kind of looks at you guys and he's like, I find cheap ways to make people happy.
Oh, okay. Well,
raises an eyebrow and looks at the goon and is like, yeah, so that you don't have any inciting riots or anything.
Whoa. Who's doing any rioting? No one's doing any rioting around here. What is this? Come on. Hey.
So,
keep calm. That's what the tavern's for. Get drunk. Relax.
Okay. So, spending your money at the tavern, right? I mean, paid daily. Those miners are paid daily. Who hands out the payment, and how will we find out when our red-headed friend here last collected his?
Oh, jeez, that's a very difficult question to ask, you see, because I have the people who handle the payouts. They handle that over by where the mine carts all end up down in the mines. And there's multiple routes depending what shift you're on. It's all very complicated. That's what the gnomes handle. They handle all the train routing and stuff like that. But the short answer is there's like 15 guys I have who handle the payouts for it because, they get a couple of silver a day. It's hard manual labor, and it's dangerous. They just kind of get paid at the end of the shift. But if, they're going to a different place because the shift has put them somewhere else, they're going to be dealing with a different pay guy each time. You never know. Depends on where the pay guys end up. They usually come me, they grab the satchel of money, we do the thing. Nice and easy.
All right. Okay. And then the redheaded guy, whereabouts did he live down here?
Housing.
Right, but is there any sort of specific rooming or anything that they have, or first come first serve?
It's mostly first come first. Think of it like not a hotel. Starts with an H. Hostel. That's
haberdashery.
Brothel.
Not a haberdashery. We're not making. Who is this guy? And he looks at. You're decked to the nines for someone who's trucking around in mines.
Thank you. Here
you go.
It's the pants, right? You recognize the pants?
It's after 5. You can't be seen in peasant clothing.
This is my evening attire.
Peasant clothing. See, you guys are talking my style. I guess you guys you guys know what's on the up and up then, on what's going on in the happenings of the world. Please tell me what's going on in the happenings of the world. I have been down here for 3 months straight.
Oh, one of the towers in the center of town caught fire and exploded and collapsed. And then a bunch of trains derailed recently, too.
More specifically, there was a bombing. And then there was another bombing with a mass kill.
And then there was an issue in an alleyway in which a bunch of folks who looked like that red-headed miner that we're talking about...
So there was another bombing.
Were all there, and they were not alive anymore. Not all of them were alive anymore.
So, can you explain to me exactly what took place that caused the disruption in our flow of materials? Because I hate to break it to you, but the main supply depot absolutely swamped. It's going to take us weeks to catch up.
The train system was exploded.
Yeah, no, do you know how? You guys are here from the guard?
We are supposed to be investigating it.
I see. And my red-headed friend here is apparently related to all this?
He's a person of interest.
Person of interest.
Oh, never mind.
No, speak your mind. We're all friends here.
No, I reach in my pocket and grab the 5 copper that I had taken off of the now dead guard, and I hand it to him because it's all of the money that I have on my person, and I say, he's a person of very interest. I give him the 5 copper because that's all I have, because I'm the only. Yes, here you go. Hopefully that helps sway him to give us more information on this person.
Person of very interest.
That is the grammar that I used.
So usually when the god is going for a bribe, they're not usually working in actual monies. They're usually talking like power and, the ability to just not get in trouble for something every so often. But that
doesn't sound quite ethical.
What's ethics?
In my experience,
you realize where you are?
Money
you are
is
several
power.
100 feet underground in the side of a mountain. What do you care about ethics right now?
Literally, you can just make people disappear down here and no one would be none the wiser.
Exactly, and we try our best to make sure that if people decide that they want to do that,
it doesn't get out.
Or
and that
if
they
it's
don't
an
get
important
out
thing,
again.
They do get out. See, that's all. Okay. Wavehelm just kind of keeps shaking his head as you guys are heading down this entire course of conversation.
You coming up with this is great.
You don't understand, guys. You don't understand. think of us more like a mining colony that's a subsidiary or a vassal to the big city. So, as long as we provide them what they want from us, and they keep supplying us with the monies to do the things and to pay the people who go back to the city, and keep the economy flowing,
nobody's gonna ask
no one cares so much about what's going on. Now, on the off chance that a person comes down here and doesn't come back out, it depends on the prestige of the person. And so, like you, they will eventually send someone to go look for a person and see if they disappeared here. Now, oftentimes, they have not. Surprisingly, as a place as wide and vast as this where you could easily hide bodies, we don't really run into problems with lots of bodies.
Oh, with a foundry that big, you wouldn't have to worry about the bodies.
But isn't that where you go to find bodies?
But that's actually really clever. Because I would think immediately to just go find some tunnel in the middle of nowhere that's less traffic than just leave it there. And you're telling me I could go... You might be onto something. I might need to go make an investigation just to make sure that the right people are in charge of the right places. And as he says this, Wavehelm's eyes just get very wide.
Wait, Wavehelm, you perked up there.
I might need to have some conversations with my dad, considering he works in the refinery and I work in the foundry.
Oh boy.
Let's just say he has to explain some birthday presents. I've been working here. Anyway.
So,
Chlor pockets his copper that clearly is not going to do anything for him.
Excuse me, that's mine! And he swipes it with that.
You
can't just offer me money and not... No!
Wait, no, before he swipes it, I'm closing my hand. He's not taking it. He just told me that my money was no good here.
You put it on the table.
This is a jerk.
Excuse me, what I'm gonna give you for this here money,
if you want to call it that.
Look, the way the mining shifts work down here is that it's automatically ticking the cars that'll go towards the mines, towards where the labor's needed. It's an automated system. It's managed by the people down at the stations over by the mines. We don't manage that. In fact, I don't have to manage any of the train tracks. If the train tracks go kaput, that's all on the gnomes. The gnomes' office is upstairs.
Yeah, the gnomes aren't really fond of us for some reason.
I just want a name. Who's gonna have a name?
I don't have a name of who's gonna have a name.
You have a pretty good memory, though, right?
I've got a great memory.
So have you seen this redheaded kid showing up inside the tavern after his shifts pretty regularly? Or does he just sort of scamper off?
Pulls out a bottle of liquor out from under his desk.
I kind of don't need to go to the tavern. I got my own little, pick-me-up here. I don't really socialize with the riffraff.
What, you don't even keep an eye on your own area?
I let them take care of themselves. It's all kind of quasi-laissez-faire libertarian down here. Just kind of let people be. Don't ask questions. You don't want answers.
Fair enough.
So this automated system thingy, if we were to go and check it after maybe we figure out a name, we can see where he last went.
So, if that's the way you want to go, there's two ways of getting there. If you take the path from the mines, go down there, it's a couple miles of a walk, you'll find yourself to the first check station. You can probably catch a train there that might have a specific direction. You might be able to ask somebody some questions. I don't know. The other option, if you're willing to roll dice, go back to the train station that you came to get here. I'm assuming you took them on the train's way, though. Well, go over there. You want to take the trains, any of the cars that are to the west coast. It's all automated. Get on with the shift change. Those are the ones that almost always end up heading towards the mines.
And for rolling dice. It's kind of what I do.
Rolling dice.
Oh yeah.
See who we can find.
Now, since you're already down here, and I just, have to ask, are you guys intending on staying down here for any stretch of time?
I mean...
It's already, and he looks at us, geez, the wheeze is already mid-afternoon. Not having a real, sun to look at just definitely messes with you.
Well, you took my last copper, so I really have no money to stay down here, so thanks.
It's not about whether or not you have the resources, it's about your intentions.
Let's
just say, in exchange for whatever you learn about this here ginger fella that you guys are looking for, that might be useful for me in some which ways and forms. If you guys find out some stuff, I can, leverage that for personal reasons. So if you could feed me some of the information that you're collecting, The real currency down here is what you know.
I mean, sure.
Ben agrees and shakes his hand.
We can give you information.
All right, well, pulls out of his desk a couple of booklets. These booklets here, hands out one to each of you. They have, these are for new hires. Now, if you were to use them entirely like new hires, you could go over to the supply station and you can go and pick yourself up a fresh, clean new uniform. Now, keep an eye on those. You only get the one. There's also waivers in there for your ability to get into housing and get yourself some free nights to stay with the intention that you are working. So, you've only got about 3 nights stays for free in each of these booklets. Yes, beds are limited, so get in there while you can. If not, I don't know if you've noticed, there's a bit of a hodgepodge of people who've kind of made their own thing out in the middle of, out of the area here. And they're also selling stuff under the table, and it's not in the commissary. Let's just say they're not smuggling things in, but, you know, there's no rules against it here. It's just not supplied by the city. And, yeah, there's no free drinks. The meals, the basic, it's, you know, porridge and water, keep you alive until you can afford the real stuff.
All right, well, thank you for the information, sir. That's very helpful.
All right. Well, without further ado, get your asses out of here, because I want to go home. I said school! And Wavehelm is just like, thank you, boss.
Well, thank you, Wavehelm. That was very helpful, you taking us there. Guys, do you think that we need Wavehelm to keep going with us, or can we let him go home and sleep? He looks pretty tired.
I think we should allow him to continue living his life as he sees fit.
Agreed.
Seems like he has some conversations to have with his dad.
That's true.
Don't know if I want to be there for that one.
Well, after this sobering interaction, I'm going to go not sober. And he just kind of walks out, turns right, and starts the tavern.
Wavehelm.
That is priorities.
Shakes his head and I had to say something.
Oh, poor guy.
He's fine.
In the few minutes that you guys have been inside, the rabble outside has kind of died down. There's less people moving around. There's still people moving to and fro, but it's not as busy. There's less people moving in and out of the train station, although it does seem that in general more people are going into the train station than are leaving.
So do we want to split up and cover both sections that we could investigate, or do we all want to go to one particular spot?
I think we definitely want to go to one particular spot and roll the dice.
Well, I know it's what you and I want to do, but does somebody want to go the other option of trekking down the mines, or the path to the mines?
Why would we split the party?
To see what's most convenient for everybody and getting the investigation done?
Right, but I mean, the whole objective is to just wind up at the mines anyway, so... I don't know, whatever you guys want to do. I'm up for anything. I don't care. Theo's kind of letting everyone else take the lead here. He just asks occasional questions, that's it.
Can I get Bob to roll me a d20?
D20.
A d20.
Let's see what we get. Let's try the fancy schmancy automated dice and see if we come up with something other than a 6.
Woo! Good luck. I thought it was a 4. Is it a 6?
Oh, it is a 4. I'm sorry.
It's 4.
Hang on.
Well, roll again. Yeah, let's just see if we're stuck in 4s.
We're stuck in 4s. There's no humanly way that it's still, like, that's obviously broken on his profile.
Yeah, something. If it does it again, it's something will definitely be considered broke as all get out.
You said that last time.
I know, but it's just weird to me. I wonder if there's something with his browser. I don't know. Any moment now.
Nope.
Jeez.
Okay.
All right.
Real die.
All right. Roll the real die. Now that we know that your dice are still broken.
You rolled a 5.
I
Yay.
love it.
Okay. So, as you guys are all talking, Bob and Theo, out of the corner of your eye, you spot, a little dirty, a little haggard, moving in to the middle of the shanty town, kind of in the middle of the area, person with red hair.
Sorry, we spot what now?
A person with red hair, and then they are kind of obfuscated just by a crowd of people.
Theo kind of perks up at that, like his attention is caught. Like, you know, Clore and the others are talking, and he's just kind of looking around. He's like, huh.
And with that, we are going to take a break. So, everybody, we have an important announcement.
Update.
A realization, as it were. Clore, please enlighten us as to the sudden and amazing realization.
Oh, we were just talking about how Gimli, and that's Lord of the Rings for those of you who wildly would have never seen that. His voice, his brilliant voice, sounds exactly as his beard looks.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah. It is true. Like, you think about it, he's just like, never trust an elf. And his beard just looks like you would never trust an elf.
It's
deep, low and deep. It rolls all the way through.
A little bit rough, but
Yeah.
pleasant at the same time. It's a pleasant, rough, deep beard.
You'd run your hands to it, and it wouldn't be great,
Small
but you'd
chance of
definitely do it
success.
again.
Exactly.
What are we
What are
waiting
we
for?
waiting for?
That's really that entire thing is the tagline of this party, let me tell you.
What are we waiting? Yeah, you know you're not wrong.
Certainty of death, small chance of success, what are we waiting for?
It's like in
Going great for us.
it's like a couple sessions ago when Penn may or may not have ran the cart off of the rails. Gimli would turn around.
I don't think
It
I
only
ran
counts
it
as
off the
one.
rails.
But still only counts as one.
Still only counts as one.
Whereas if the DM had let me get all the XP farmed from those stuff.
No!
Level
So you
6
get murder
here we come.
hobos.
Anyway,
Barbarian.
where are you guys going? Now that you possibly spotted out of the corners of your eye, Bob and Theo.
Yeah, Theo was just gonna reach over and tug on Clore's jerkin basically, and just gonna be like, "Hey," and head over towards in the crowd, where he saw that little flash of red. He's got sights on something that might be their little halfling, and he's determined to track them down.
Shall we go?
Let's do it.
Oh, for what?
Follow
Yeah, DM.
this-
Theo is a hunter on the prowl now. He has a target. He wants to find that target.
Where are we going?
So, in the center of that space, there's kind of like a shanty town-ish type of thing going on. There's just random structures that are kind of hastily thrown together with what appears to be spare wood, spare metal. Some of them seem to also have rudimentary shop fronts, and they're just kind of all thrown together.
It's downtown LA.
Think of a shanty town or Hooverville style
Lind.
setup. I wasn't gonna go there, but you went there, so I guess we're going there. Yeah, Oakland. Yeah. So they're all set up, and you saw this redheaded figure just kind of head in that direction, and just kind of get behind into the crowd. And
Hey Theo, where you taking me, Theo? What are we doing?
Are there any rocks on the ground?
Well, so I think we
are you
might
looking for
necessarily...
pebbles? Or are you talking fist-sized rocks? What size rocks?
Smaller than a fist, larger than a racquetball.
I think we're saying throwing size rocks.
Hypothetically.
Like a peach pit. Something
Okay.
bigger than a peach pit, smaller than a baseball.
Okay.
Great description.
Rubble.
Yes, you readily able to find. There's lots of rocks and stones.
Grab and I
rubble.
throw it at the redhead.
Wait, what?
Ooh, aggressive.
Oh,
Why are we
okay.
doing that?
Get his attention.
Why would we want to do that? I mean,
We have
all
questions
I did
for him.
was point out that we might not have to wander around to find our redheaded friend. I think he's right there.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't draw his attention until we're ready to talk to him.
Sounds like the
I'm
rock's
ready to
already in
talk
the
to
air.
Yeah, I think that rock's already gone.
Rinningham, roll to hit.
What's
It's
my
an improvised weapon, so it's basically
a dex mod. Huh?
It's would be a D20 plus your dex mod, but you don't get your
Nothing.
proficiency bonus.
If you were a hobbit,
Joke's on you. I don't have a proficiency bonus.
It's you don't have the other way around. You have a proficiency bonus. You don't have a dex mod.
There it is.
So it's just a straight.
Please tell me it's a natural 20. Tell me.
Focus.
Focused. Come on,
baby.
Focus.
Come on.
I can't
Focus.
see it.
Oh my gosh! All right. So
How do you want to
Flores
do
had
this?
the first
Oh,
nat
sorry.
one with I believe is a perception check, and now we have Rinningham nat 20 Not prepared for this, but all right. This is happening.
Remember how we talked about improvise?
Yep. Yeah. No. I entirely did not prepare for this course of action because why would I prepare for this particular course of action?
You can't just dangle a redhead in front of us.
I mean, someone's got to take him home tonight.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta grab the details on. Okay. So, roll for damage. That'll be a D6.
Oh, a 6. Wow. Okay. That was a 6.
Are you kidding?
No. It was a 6.
Did we just say we did?
That's double.
Okay.
I'm not dealing. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this isn't a melee weapon.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't exactly have as much control over whether or not this just bludgeons a guy to death. So, it was a crit. You rolled a 20, so you get to roll that twice.
Oh yeah.
That's another 6. I just wanted to get his attention, Doug. I was just trying to say, hey,
Tell us what happens.
Heads up,
guys.
guys.
Tell us what happens with 12 points of damage.
Don't worry, we have a necromancer.
No, that's so horrible.
Because the DM won't let me level up.
Don't worry, we have a replacement. I look like just like him.
So you guys turn in the direction that Bob and Theo are like, hey, I just saw a redhead go that way, and he's about to turn out of the crowd. Rinningham's like, I got this. Picks up a rock, literally as the guy goes out of sight, whips it, and instead of disappearing into the crowd, the guy goes down like a sack of rice. Just clunk, and he's just down. And all the people around him are like, what the? And they look over at you like,
I'm also looking
around,
this guy, I'm looking behind me. I'm like, what? Did you guys see who threw that? It's been running through my head.
Roll me a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh wait, can I help him because I look like the guy and be like, oh, just a prank.
And it's gonna start walking towards the downed redhead.
Problem here, DM, is that Theo would be staring at Rinningham like, what the hell did you just do?
Okay, so I rolled a 6 and a 7, so the disadvantage isn't that bad. But the 6 plus a 7.
Oh,
13.
That's kind of good.
So looking at you, Rinningham, and then looking at Clore, who is still looking like the guy who just... Strangely, Clore, you managed to give just enough credibility.
We're good. Oh, we're good.
And I go, ta-da! And a little shower sparks.
And people look
We're
over
going to a
like,
magic show.
But he's bleeding. Is that all part of you?
It's just an act. Don't worry. He's
I
just doing a great
again
job
cast
of doing
prestidigitation. I'm like, are you sure that's blood? Smell it. And I make the blood smell like maple syrup.
Do it. Do it, DM.
Guy goes over and sniffs it and dips his finger in it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And
I flavor the blood on his finger to taste like maple syrup.
Oh no.
Just in case. Just in case. You get to decide whether or not this man tastes blood. Okay.
Oh, he tasted the maple syrup blood.
Oh man.
one of the guys looking at this who just kind of watches happen. He's like,
I don't.
Y'all are some sick fucks, you know that?
Yes.
we don't do that. So you're not even from around here, are you?
No.
Ta-da.
We don't have any strong members of the party, do we?
Oh, Pen is gonna lift the dude up
me?
and straddle his arm across and make it, look like he's fine. He's just really in character. Thank you so much for participating. We're gonna go now.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, let's. Well, we got free rooms.
Yeah.
Let's
go take this unconscious man. Who? Do we have like some bandages, or just to stop the bleeding?
Wait. While
Rinningham, what is he?
Carrying him, can Penn please discreetly check for a pulse?
Well,
is he just dead?
He's gonna roll death saves. Does anyone have any? Like
just a single health point. That's all he needs.
Well, all
if
we
he's
need
in
is
fact
for someone
dead.
to do a medical check to try to stabilize him.
Penn can do a medical check.
So, Penn, are you checking for a pulse?
Yep.
Please.
There is a pulse.
Oh, thank goodness.
Can we ensure that he's stabilized and not still like on his?
If you'd like.
Yeah, can we
Please.
do that, please?
Please.
Yeah. Do I need to roll a? Does someone need to roll it? I'll do it.
Go for it. Roll a. Was it medicine? Yeah, roll a medicine check.
Oh yeah, watch out for this one. Big +1. Oh, a 19 for a dirty 20. That's nice.
Hey.
Can I
right,
stabilize him?
Yeah, you're kind of able to like take some of his tunic and just kind of like shove it up where the bleeding is, and after it kind of slows down a little bit and
clots it up a little bit.
The breathing doesn't seem to stop, so he's
fine.
He's not dead.
Beautiful.
He's not dead.
Who is he?
That's the question I had hoped you'd ask before you knocked him unconscious, but
exactly.
So, just to be clear, I want to make what's happening very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Penn is going to drag an unconscious miner into a free bedroom underground to question him thoroughly.
And we wonder why he's not allowed,
Now let's revisit that statement for just
Where
a
am I
moment.
not allowed? I'm allowed everywhere. I get invited to all sorts of places.
As long as they're not within 300 feet of an elementary school.
I'm pretty sure that charge did not hold up.
So we're dragging an unconscious minor.
Yes.
That doesn't sound good.
No, that was the joke.
It ain't.
They're not gonna
Your
know. We'll just
bedroom.
say he had a heat stroke while he was out mining, and let's go.
I mean, he was.
Yeah. All right. So, where exactly is like the rooms? Because we don't want to like find someplace in the little shanty town. We want to go to like the actual building.
it's basically across the shanty town. You can see there's a large structure that seems to have been carved into the walls.
Okay, that's what he's pointing at.
Yeah, there's some kind of. Looks like they have windows, but there's no glass or anything like that. There's kind of open holes across like multiple floors. And
let's go there.
It's a rather large structure that takes up a large portion of that side of the wall.
Hi ho, back to the home we go.
I thought you said this was a prank. Is he actually all right? That still looks, he was walking. What?
I think he oversold. Right? He oversold it and hit his head. We're just gonna take him back and make sure he doesn't have a concussion.
We're just gonna give him a lie down.
He'll be all right.
We'll get him some ginger ale and some popsicles and Robitussin. He'll be fine.
The fourth wall takes 10 more damage. Robitussin. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Robitussin.
Yeah, that's Robitussin is Rinningham's long lost cousin.
I never thought I'd see him again.
House, the 8th.
Well, I mean, that's where the family money came in, was in herbal remedies.
Robitussin and his brother Mucinex.
They don't talk about the twins, Dayquil and Nyquil.
The twins Mucinex and Mucinex DM.
Oh, we don't talk about DM. Clore snarls and says, "Mind your business." Still looking like a halfling. Starts walking.
All right. You guys head across, and you get a lot of strange looks, but the fact that, guy doesn't appear to be actually dead, staves off most of the questioning other than, the occasional, like, the hell happened to this guy?
Mining accident.
You actually say that?
Stroke.
No, but we could.
No.
We'll just keep walking.
Which tunnel? Which route?
As long as no
Are there
one's
more
stopping
bodies?
us. Yeah, as long as no one's stopping us, we're just walking.
Not really. So as you enter the barracks, the actual like housing quarters themselves, there's a very large desk that has multiple people working at it, and you see people coming down and returning keys. Most of them have like a sack on their back as they, head out. Other ones are kind of shuffling in with you guys, and they're actually trying to like skirt ahead of you and get to the desks and first, and they slap down some coin, and basically the clerk behind the desk doesn't really even pay too much mind, just kind of counts the coin real quick, flips it up. The key that was just dropped off the desk slides it in front of this next guy. You can see there's more keys on the board behind them.
Should we check his pocket for a key?
That's a good question there. I mean, if he's already got a room, then we should probably take him back to his room.
That's a good idea. That idea is good.
Someone
While
pat
they're
him
checking,
down while I'm holding him.
yeah, while they're checking his pockets, I'm just gonna walk up to the desk and with one of the booklets that the guy gave us, and hey, can I? We just started, and I need to find a room. I was told to come here.
Rather, kind of thick-jowled orc turns around. New meat. You're not even wearing your uniform yet.
Nope, still clean.
Get used to being dirty then.
Oh, don't tell me with a good time.
Dark.
Well, voucher. You haven't even gained your clothes. I want to do that. All right. Rips off the voucher. 1 bed per room. Little bit of privacy, can't have too much riffraff. No drinks in the rooms, and you're out in the morning. Let's see. Mess hall's next door. And the bathrooms are communal, and there's one at the end of each hall. Slides you a key.
Thank
You're
you.
on the 4th floor. Second room on the left. Up the stairs.
Appreciate you.
So we have all the unconscious body and ourselves.
Oh, I see. There's only one person per room. You're not gonna all hold up in one room.
No, sir, but our friend here really does need to get into a room sooner rather than later. He's not exactly feeling his best.
Well, does he have a room key?
Theo looks at Penn.
I'm holding him. I said someone needs to pat him down.
All right, Theo will gently pat this guy down. Look for a key.
All right. In his pockets, you find a key. You find about 10 silver and 5 copper. And just a couple other just like little random knickknacks. Just, a lot of paper with some like random notes. Like how many times he hit rocks and things today. Just very simple, mundane. You see a little, instead of a coin, it's about the size of a coin, but a little bit larger, made of brass, and it's got just a little emblem kind of signed into it with a little inscription. It's just like, always have a good day. Just like a little memento.
Aww.
Like, just a couple little things like that.
Yeah, Theo leaves the money, the coin, the note, everything but the key. He takes the key and he holds it out to the person behind the desk. He says, "Could you direct us to this room, please?"
Yeah, this is 2nd floor. 12th door on the right. And he's overdue to leave, so he was going.
So, would it be
He'll
possible
cover
to
that
use
when
one of
we-
our
when he
vouchers
wakes
for
up.
this room? I mean, since he has
No.
to leave anyway.
Penn shuffles the pocket with money in it towards the innkeeper. Here, take your share.
reaches in and pulls out some of the copper and counts it.
Does he put any of the copper back, or does he just take it all?
How intently are you watching?
Pen is actually watching, but
he just takes the copper. He all the silver stays in the pocket. He just takes all the copper, just kind of.
Oh.
All right. Well,
all right,
thank you.
Theo, lead the way.
Yeah. Up to the second floor, 12th door on the right. Theo's counting as he goes along.
While Theo leads the way, Clora's going to take the money out of the pocket.
Oh, come on, that's what I was gonna do!
Sorry, you're carrying them.
Also, this camera is being stupid again and forgets where I am. There we go.
You are all horrible people, and I am honored to know you.
So, you're not even being secretive about it either, are you, Floor?
The
only person I care about is Theo. If Theo doesn't see me, I don't care if everybody else sees me.
Theo's in the lead. He's not paying attention to any of that. He's busy counting the doors. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So.
Okay. Yep. You've now acquired
How much? Tell me.
8 silver.
Ooh, I'm rich.
All right. When they find the door, DM, Theo would like to unlock the door.
He just opens
it.
Open. You notice that the doors themselves are rather plain. There's a window that's in there that has it does have glass, but it's think of it like school classroom glass, where it has the metal kind of wire in the middle to help keep it from shattering too much if someone were to try to break it. And inside is a very, very simple room. It's 5 feet by 15 feet. There's a bed. There's some space to just kind of leave your stuff, and little, barely enough room to move around the bed to be able to get in and out of it. It's a very narrow, and seeing as this room is on the right, there's no windows or anything like that outside of the one to the hallway. It's carved and hewn into the stone.
Oh, this is kind of gloomy. Well, let's get that guy set up on the bed. We'll clean him up and wait for him to wake up.
Pen yeets him onto the bed and then begins to go through all of his personal items. Pen, buddy, what are you... shouldn't we give him medical attention first? You're a doctor, right? Go for it.
Bob, you're good with the healing type of thing. Can you give me some direction here? I've never done this type of...
I've never done any type of first aid. You live on a farm.
I really wish that I was able to give you better guidance, but all of my healing tends to be of the divine nature, which I seem to be fresh out of right now.
Okay, so you don't know any practical medical things. Gotcha.
No.
I mostly deal with bruises.
Tell you what, I do have some medical skills, but not much. Let me take a guess at it as I pick up my 12-sided dice and roll my medicine check.
Pen warns him not to try and set his neck if it is broken.
Good advice. I will take that under advisement. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is a 14.
Hey!
You are able to, definitely take some time and patch him up. You take the blankets from the bed and you kind of carefully, tightly wrap and make sure that the bleeding stops and stabilize everything. And you position it so that he's, laying rather still and seems to be breathing just fine. Seems to still have a pulse that's pretty steady. You suspect if he had, probably will come to in a couple of hours, assuming the concussion that he likely has isn't too bad. It's not, could have been a lot worse, but he has, you lucked out that it didn't get that.
We're confident he's going to survive this experience.
Yeah, you're pretty confident about that.
So Pen's going through all of his stuff.
Roll me a d10.
9.
Ooh.
Wow, that's quite the face, sir.
As you rummage through his things, in his bag that is mostly kicked under the bed, you find a pair of blood-stained gloves and a small pouch of some form of dried berries.
Dun dun dun.
and that's about all that's really in his pouch.
Like the whole room? That's it? Berries and blood gloves?
They're
You have a
gloves,
guy
but
with
specifically
berries,
for blood.
blood gloves, and his pockets had, 8 silver in them. And
His pockets have nothing in them because someone was a little sneakier than me.
You do find the note that has just random scribblings on it. It has what appears to be a work schedule for the different shifts. It has some details on how many pounds of ore he, was tracking on how much he moved. There's no date on it, so it's hard to tell if that's, yesterday, today, his goals for tomorrow. But it does have, pounds of ore. Just other little random things of.
Nothing about this has any indication that he was planning a trip to the above or recently came back from the above in some manner.
No, and then just has the little trinket coin that just reminds him to have a nice day.
He wasn't planning a trip to the beyond either.
If no one has the capability of waking him up via some sort of healing, maybe we should seize the opportunity to take a long rest, and someone can watch him. We can take turns watching him, so everybody can, Bob, get their feeling of good things back, and we can figure this out when he wakes up from his long rest and is healed.
I really like that idea.
I mean, I would imagine he's knocked unconscious until he's able to recoup some of his life. So just, if he decides to try and run, we'll just have Rinningham throw a rock at him again.
That seems to have a proven track record.
I mean, you could just have someone sleep right in front of the door, right?
Impulsive rock throwing.
I mean, we got a question.
Also nearly killed himself with a rock once.
That's true. He did.
I have a very unique set of skills, a very close relationship with
rocks.
Rocks.
One might call it a rocky relationship.
So,
well, I mean, if we can't bring him back, I say we take turns watching him and.
Sounds like a good idea.
I like the idea.
Nap it out.
Go to sleep, Bob.
Okay.
Good night, Bob. Bob does not need to take a watch. He just needs to sleep.
Bob just needs
Night,
to
night,
rest.
y'all.
I'll take first watch since I'm.
So, Bob, in order to get a room, you will have to go back down to the desk, trade in one of
my vouchers.
Yep. That's the word I was looking for. I said waivers. I meant vouchers. I knew what I was trying to say.
I'm so attached to my vouchers. I guess I can go give one away. Okay. Let us head down to the desk.
Get the guy where he needs to go.
Yeah. All right. Need a key, my man. Need a key.
Well, where's your voucher?
Right in my hand. Here you go.
Takes it and puts it beneath the desk and grabs the key off the 6th floor. Make a right. 3rd room on the left.
6th floor. Make a right. 3rd room on the left. All right, cool. I'm on my way.
And as you look at the key that he hands you, there are no numbers or symbols or anything. There's just the cut of the key.
Well, hello, Ollivander.
Huh. Well, I sure hope he gave me the right key. All right, cool. Let's see what happens.
The key chooses its owner.
It's like a cat.
Rain Man, but for keys.
Yes.
You find yourself in a room, basically the exact same as the one you were just in with your unconscious friend. Just a bed,
Really?
very simple bed, surprisingly comfortable. As you sit down and lay, to take your nap on it, it's little, on par with what you had at the Bloody Shield.
Okay. Well, considering that I'm perfectly okay sleeping on the ground, this will be luxuriant. And by the way, I want to make sure that this door stays closed. So,
Oh, you may have lost Jim.
I'll just put my pack in front of it. So, oh man,
Oh, there we go.
really?
Okay, there you go. We heard. We heard. Yeah, we heard that you wanted to keep it closed.
Yeah, so we're gonna put the pack in front of the door. So, should anybody choose to sneak into the room, I will be hopefully awakened from my slumber.
Okay. Oh, that was the other thing with the smooth doors, is that there are no doorknobs. It seems that the key is basically the mechanism to kind of push the door open.
Oh, that's cool.
So, all right. Sounds like a plan. You put your sack in front of the door and hole up for the night.
Oh, sleep time.
Which it's like late afternoon, really.
Yeah, but I'm
And
tired.
we're underground. Can't tell.
Yep. So, the rest of you.
I'm out of action for 8 hours. You guys do whatever.
What are the rest of you guys doing with regards to your sleeping friend?
I mean, I got to stay and watch him. I have a key already, so if someone wants the 4th floor, second room on the right, they can have my key.
Yeah,
And takes it since he took the silver from him.
Nice.
Clore, I'm gonna go get myself a room, but I'll pop in too. If you're feeling hungry or anything, you let me know. I'll go relieve you and you can get food.
Yeah, just come get me for the second watch, and then we'll just kind of switch rooms. I'll take your room or whatever. And
Perfect. Sounds like a plan, good buddy.
yes, sir.
Did I hear a 10-4?
Did we get a long rest now? For those of us that are going to sleep?
Yes, you guys will be able to get a long rest. So Clore, I guess you're taking the first watch,
Yes.
and then Rinningham, do you go and grab yourself a room?
I am. Yes, I am definitely needing my long rest.
Oh.
Little one, they're gonna have you crawling through looking for ore, huh? That's what they do for little folks like you.
I could probably just sing the ore out of the ground. I wouldn't even need to go crawling around.
Okay. Hands you a key. We keep tiny rooms for folks like you on the first floor here. Go to the end of the hallway there on the right.
Thanks.
And then, Theo, your
Yes.
room is on the 8th floor.
Okay.
I gave Theo my key, so when.
Oh, no, you're
No,
right. You
'cause
gave
Pen
Theo
took
the.
it.
That's right. Never mind. Sorry, you're right. You're right. No,
Fourth
yeah, Pen
floor.
took it. Pen took your key.
Oh, that's
Theo-
right. Theo's got to
Theo
go.
has to get their own.
Okay.
Theo.
How does the guy know my name?
Strapping.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Theo.
all right. Strapping.
Terrifying. Okay.
You'll wake
Theo
and
is
work your way
Nav,
up
the
to
wizard of the mines.
refineries before long. And 8th floor. Make a left.
Sure,
Make a
I got a
right.
question though. I'm curious here. So I've been told what a foundry is. What exactly is a refinery?
You take the ore and you melt it. And you separate the metal from the slag.
Okay.
Slag is all waste. And then that's your refining. And you separate metal types. If there's blends of metal, copper and iron, separate them and narrow them down to their appropriate places.
That sure sounds like an interesting line of work, so thank you, sir. I'm not quite sure what that has to do with finding people, but I will keep that in mind. Theo takes his key and heads up to his room.
Make a left, make a right, and the second door on the left.
Left, right, second door on the left, 8th floor. Gotcha. Thank you, sir. You have a good evening.
And you all begin to have your long rest.
Ooh.
Floor. Roll a perception check.
Do it. I can do it. I can do it.
And you?
Can you do it though?
I don't know. It's only a +1. I'm coming off a fresh 19. So that would be a total of 13. Small room.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, what? All right. I don't wanna.
I don't wanna.
That is a 7.
About an
Yeah, I wouldn't
hour or
want it.
two into your watch, you swear for a moment that The guy started to stir, but maybe not. Suddenly you are very tired, and you have a hard time keeping your eyes open. And within an hour, you are passed out, just kind of sitting there in the corner on the floor where you had been sitting to keep watch on this guy. And you're not really sure what came over you for it, because you felt fine before now, but now you're conked out.
Oh no. When I wouldn't be smart enough. I wouldn't be smart enough to know that something's happening to me. Okay. Sweet dreams, I guess.
After the long rest, as you guys
Do you ever come
go
to get me?
to the different rooms, kind of see where everyone's at, Chlor
Somehow,
is noticeably
magically.
absent.
Who's
What?
absent?
Chlor is noticeably absent.
Well, yeah, because Theo would have kind of broken up his rest a little bit to go and relieve Chlor for taking shifts. But I don't know what timing that would be.
Yeah, it would have been
But
like
I'm
halfway through
assuming
the
that he's
night,
probably
so.
the one who figures out that Chlor's not there and goes like looking around.
I mean, that's a shirt, yeah, basically. You go to that room, there's no Chlor.
And is the redhead there?
There's no
Oh,
redhead.
there's no one there.
There's no
Okay,
one there.
so Theo sees this, and Theo has this like immediate reaction where he's like looking around and he's just like, something ain't right here. So he's gonna go down to the desk first, and he's gonna like ask around, be like, sorry, sir, at the desk, big fella, hobgoblin type, and little guy with red hair. You see anyone like that go past?
A couple hours ago when they had the rooms and stuff. But since
But
then,
they didn't come back down.
no.
All right. Okay. So I was with a group of people, right? Where are their rooms?
The one guy's on the 4th floor. First guy's on the 1st floor. You are on the 8th floor. We got a guy on the 6th floor.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So Theo gets the instructions to the rooms, and he's gonna go around like knocking on the doors, kind of being like, "Hey, wake up! We got a problem."
So, Jim, I'm sorry you don't get your long rest.
I'm sorry.
I misunderstood how the watch was working. If Theo is going to be the first person to relieve Chlor.
It was going to be. That was the plan, right? Like,
Yep.
Oh my god.
That is what I
so that
remember.
everyone can get a watch. That was the
And
intention.
best of all, there's no coffee around here, is there?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, you haven't checked out the mess hall.
Theo waking up
coffee.
Bob has become like an in-joke now, hasn't it?
We're underground. I mean, how good can the coffee be? It's probably made with mushrooms.
It's freshly ground coffee. How did you not see this coming?
Easily, apparently.
The worst part of all of this is Chlor, the only person who didn't need a long rest, is going to get one by proxy of being knocked out.
It's true.
That's awesome. That's
Theo
actually
didn't need one. He was good.
That's actually quite cool. All right, so I'm up. What is the catastrophe?
So, I went to go and relieve Chlor, right? And Theo kind of waits until the rest of the group is together before he explains this. So he only has to explain it once. I went to go relieve Chlor like I was supposed to. I didn't, fall asleep for very long. Just a little short break, long enough for watch. So I went to go and check in on Chlor. And when I opened the door, Chlor was gone, and so was the little red-headed fella. So I went to check down with the desk to see if maybe they left. And the gentleman at the desk, that orc who gave us our keys, says that they didn't pass by him again on their way out, but they're not in that room. And me calling for him or hollering and making noises didn't seem to catch any attention from Chlor. So what I'm saying is, I think Chlor has gone missing, as has that person that we were looking for.
Oh, okay. So we've got to go looking for that.
Does it have to be now? Pen says groggily.
Well, it
Okay.
ain't exactly a normal thing for people to disappear without, you being noticed, and I didn't.
Pen raises an eyebrow, looks at Theo, and goes, "Maybe where you're from."
didn't see anyone leaving through the bathrooms. I mean, they weren't there when I called out.
Bathrooms only had one way in, one way out, and they are not pretty.
It was a bit of a mess, to be honest, but they weren't there. And,
Well, then ask him if there's any other way out of the building. Don't they have, like, emergency exits or something?
I did not think to ask that. I didn't even know what that was. But we can go ask together, and then if so, I will apologize deeply for disturbing all of your rests.
Let us go investigate.
We're going to pause on you guys. Clore, you awaken to a very cold, very wet splash of water all over your face and body. And you find yourself with your hands bound behind your back.
Again.
And you realize you're not able to move very much. Also, if you're talking, you're muted.
Just commentating as you were describing, nothing important.
Okay. And you can hear the flowing of water around you.
Oh, shit.
You look up and you can see that there's 5 guys that all look like the orange-haired guy again.
Oh, no.
Is it that meme where he's like sitting and he's
On the
surrounded by
couch.
5 guys?
I mean,
not you.
Is this what's about to happen?
No, that's the opposite. They should all be surrounding the miner, not the miners surrounding him. See, you took it there.
Why?
No.
All right.
Am I gagged?
No.
Yeah.
What do you want?
One of them just kind of walks up, just kind of picks your chin up, and you're kind of, on your knees, kind of like, bound to what appears to be like a grate of some sort. You need to stop looking for us. You're not gonna like what you find.
Oh, no, they're Scottish.
Irish.
Irish.
Here's the problem with that, is we're getting blamed, me and the group that I'm with, for all the crap that y'all are doing. And so now we've been tasked to find you to clear our name. So I don't necessarily want to find you. I just want to not get thrown in jail.
Sacrifice to a worthy cause. Promise you? You stop looking for us, we'll stop causing you trouble.
But you won't stop causing the city trouble, and we're already getting blamed for it. So you see how that kind of doesn't work for me in my favor?
What you don't understand is that we're not trying to cause the city trouble, we're trying to fix the trouble.
Well, why don't you explain it so I understand it?
Explain it like I'm a 4-year-old.
What are you talking about? You think I'm some sort of maniacal megalomaniac who's gonna just exposit the entire plan just before I kill you? Well, that ain't gonna be the case. No. You see, you took one of our best inconspicuous disguises and made it, popular. And so, we're gonna have to change up some things a bit after we make some context. You're actually slowing down progress by trying to, bring attention to us. I have to actually give you some payback for that. And he decks you.
Oh no.
And you take...
Clore the punching bag.
Only 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Are we sure he hit me?
Yes, you're bound.
Whatever. Alright.
So, gonna let you live. Don't see any reason to kill you. Won't serve us any good if you're already taking the heat for us. But, you gotta stop checking for things that should not be messing with.
How many of them are there?
5.
You can't take them.
I can't. I definitely cannot.
I'm just gonna put that warning. Technically, Bob and I couldn't take them.
Not technically. You definitely just couldn't.
If you're
I'm just
involved
gonna. I'm just gonna
with the
stare at him
ruckus upstairs,
hatefully.
Back in the city. You really put a tamper on some things that were in motion, and I'm not gonna take that out on you. We weren't careful enough.
Careful with what?
We got caught, so clearly we weren't being careful.
Well, what are you trying to do?
We're trying to save the place. I can't explain it to you because you clearly don't understand and you're not a regular around here. You're not from the city, you're from an outsider.
But your problem is with people from the city not understanding, so maybe the outsiders are who you need to talk to.
No, you see, he grabs...
No, I don't.
Reaches behind and grabs your wrist, and you got one of these on your wrist. See this little bronze band here? You got that from the captain of the guard, did you?
Yeah.
You see, the problem is that if you happen to so find someone such as us, out on the street, out doing regular things, the guard's gonna know all about it because of this. This place is warded. It's the only place that is warded. In fact, they'll know you came down here because it's warded, but they're not gonna know what's going on inside since it's warded. I shouldn't have told you that it's warded, but, you know, other people seem to know as well. We're just happy to be conveniently alone right now.
Well, so if they don't know anything because it's warded, why don't you tell me? Then they still won't know.
Because then you'll know. I can't have you knowing.
But listen, you
we'll
can
just
kill
put this
me.
all to rest.
Okay. But
We'll just put this all to rest. You're gonna stop looking for us. You're gonna tell the guard you didn't find nothing down here. And you can go do your investigation elsewhere. And you'll never see any of us in this base again.
What face would I see when?
Doesn't matter. And with that, they all just kind of turn and just kind of start walking in different directions, and their heights all shift slightly, and their hair colors change.
Wait.
Hats.
How? Wait.
No, take a marker and make a mark on them in a place that only you can know.
No, how do I get out of here? I don't even know where you took me.
Without turning to you, you just kind of, or they, one in the middle who had been talking to you, just, you don't. Your friends find you, they find you. They just keep on walking on.
Wait, he's a cowboy now?
He's an Irish cowboy.
All right, listen. I need to figure out how to get. I got to get out of these ties. So can I get out of the ties? Can I look and see, like, is it just cloth I'm tied to something? Like, what am I tied to?
Give me a strength check.
Well, that. I just want to know what I'm tied to. Like, that's an 11.
You're not going to be able to tell
-1.
much from it being tied behind. You know, your arms are tied behind you. It's hard to tell if it's rope, if it's just, you know, if it's cloth.
Are my feet tied?
It's not metal. Not really. No, you can, but you can't really stand. You're tied kind of low. You're on your knees.
And can I feel what I'm like? Can I? So my hands are tied behind me, but can I like open my hands up and see, like, am I attached to anything, or my hands are just behind
Yes,
me?
you're attached to a metal grate that's behind you.
Oh.
And it's from behind you that the sound of flowing water is most prevalent.
Fantastic. I mean, the only thing that I can do is, like, try and Eldritch blast whatever I'm tied to from behind.
Or you could just wait for
Or
rescue.
I could yell. I mean, help!
All right. Clore begins, at least for now, yelling for help.
I mean, yeah. I'll periodically send an Eldritch blast behind me, and hopefully I hit something.
Okay. We're gonna switch back to the rest of the party.
Awesome.
What are you guys doing?
Excuse me, sir at the front desk again. Sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Ooh, my friend here brought up a point. Is there any other way to get out of this hotel? Aside from the door? This place?
No.
No? Only the door?
Nope. Yeah.
No.
There's nothing to burn in here.
Sorry, what?
There's nothing to burn in here.
Oh, okay, so don't
So
worry
there's
about
no need for fire exits or things like that.
What if there's a
catch on
cave
fire? I have been repeatedly assured that this section of cavern is stable. Will not suffer
Can you
from
believe them?
catastrophic cave-ins. It stood for a long time, lady, sir, person, tiefling. Y'all look alike to me. I don't know.
And just blinks. He's not awake enough for this conversation.
All right. Okay. So, I already said that our friend didn't walk past again, but then I don't see how it's possible that he could have left this place. Is there any other floors aside from the ones that we went on? Floors 1 through 8?
There's 10 floors, and then each of them have wings that go further back, but most of your rooms weren't down any of the wings. And there's the restrooms on each floor, and the plumbing's all tied, and occasionally it floods if someone on the bottom clogs it up,
how do you
stops up stuff upstairs.
All right, okay. But getting things into and out of here, furniture, anything like that, big
door.
Items. The door.
The door.
That's right. I think that maybe we should go back to that room. We should take a look at that room, see if there's anything that we can use to try to figure out what to do from there. In the meantime, sir, we're going to be up in that halfling fellow's room for the time being, looking for our friend. If you happen to see either of them, that young halfling or our bugbear friend, please, would you let us know?
What?
Bugbear? Hobgoblin.
Oh, hobgoblin. There we go. That thing.
Say.
All right, it's been a long day. This is why you shouldn't trust me to take notes, guys.
I don't know. I think you're doing a spectacular job.
Chlor has transformed into a bugbear.
He can, technically speaking. Disguise
true.
self.
Wait. Penn, in his sleepy stupor of trying to piece together what everybody's still saying about there's a missing person, the prisoner's missing, and there isn't a way they could have left. He kind of like sleepily kind of falls onto the counter and looks at the innkeeper and is like, if you had to put a body somewhere where no one's gonna find it in here, where would you put it?
He leans on the desk and looks at you real seriously. I'd eat it.
If you had to store it before you could eat it, sir.
Chop it up, put it in my ice box, and then try to eat it quickly.
What if you wanted it a little more alive prior to eating it? Where would
want
you
me to
keep
hide
it?
it? If I were to kidnap someone,
Sure.
where would I? You understand outside how many miles of caves and tunnels and dugouts?
We're talking about your special in here, in this place of business, where you don't want people necessarily going or finding.
It's not. Who do you think I am?
Just
I just
checking.
manage the desk.
Apparently, you're someone who's thought about eating people before.
And just like looks over and goes, "Don't judge other cultures. That's mean."
That's true.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir. That was very, very rude of me. I apologize.
Okay, guys, this is progressing very slowly. Let's head up to the room from which our companion was napped, as in kidnapped. Let's go up there to see what data we can find.
All right.
I don't know what that is, but that's a good idea.
Okay. Walkity, 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 walkity. We get there, right?
We get there.
Yes. The Batman.
Well, I mean, if we encounter anybody, or if the dice says you have a random encounter, I'm sure that our DM would be more than happy to let us know. Otherwise,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, you're walking. All right, so we know where our companion was in the room. So at this point in time, I am going to do something that involves shape-shifting. Ha ha ha! I'm going to wild shape myself into
a bloodhound.
Exactly, but I don't know if I've ever seen a bloodhound. So whatever dog I think of as being a good tracking dog, as I don't know what dogs I've been exposed to. I'm thinking possibly something like a Basenji, because they're good tracking dogs. They live in the desert. They're smallish.
I'll give you that one. Go for Basenji.
All right, cool. Now, of course, before I do this, I'm going to explain to everybody what's going on. So, off to do some sniffing. Do I find a recognizable scent that I think I can trace?
Would have to check on how keen sense is. It's been a hot minute since I've looked at keen senses for smell.
Yeah, and you know, that's why I deferred it to you, because I figured I'm lazy and you would be more than happy to research it, whereas I can just sit here and yammer pointlessly.
Really? So just a regular dog is not just on the monster manual?
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah, it's got death dog, blink dogs, and devil dogs, but not regular dogs. But if you search cat, they have freaking cats.
Right, but we all know the monster manual is wrong about cats.
Yes, that is true. So you have advantage on your perception check because you're relying on smell. I'll give you that because hound dog in it. However, there is one caveat that you realize as you try to enter the room is that none of you have a key to it.
Oh no. However shall we get in?
And use acid touch on the door.
Can I cast Mage Hand on the other side of the door to turn the lock?
I believe you have to see where you're
There is no lock.
Line of sight.
I mean, he can cast Mage Hand within line of sight, and there is the little window to be able to see into the room.
That's true.
That's line of sight. So, yes, I'll allow it.
Hey, alright.
Very nice.
Rinningham, do your magic.
It's a cantrip. Mage Hand is a cantrip.
Ethereal Hand shows up and just reaches over and door
That
opens.
was useful.
Thank you.
Okay, now Mr. Keen Senses can sniff around, but
Cool.
You're a go for Basenji.
Snippity. Let's see what our perception says. What kind of pluses do I have to my perception, or is it going to be a surprise?
you just get advantage for this, and then the rest of it is because it's perception is technically wisdom, and you keep your mental stats when you transform into a creature. So,
okay. I just rolled a 19
on the die, and that's with advantage. Have you rolled your second die?
Oh no, I didn't roll the second die. I was happy with that 19. Let's see what the second die does.
Yeah, let's get the 20.
No, it gives me a 14.
All right, so you take the higher of the two.
I think I will. Yes.
Is that a 19 total or 19 on the die?
19 total.
Okay. As you sniff around, you recognize the scent of floor, and in your dog form, you realize that a lot of smells, especially when you're being intentional about it. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot how distinct everyone is. And then yes, you're able to pick up a particular floor smell. And from what you can tell, the scent leaves this room and heads further down the hallway. I'm going to need a survival check for trekking.
Okay, dokie. Let's see how. Okay, yeah. Let's see how that goes. Stop it. Oh, that's a 13.
All right.
Now,
you guys all kind of see as Dog Bob gets a scent, gets all up in the corner, and then immediately starts following it out into the hallway and further down the hallway. You were going to ask something, Bob?
Oh, no. Allow us to continue onward.
And the direction it takes you is towards the bathrooms.
Ooh, yucky.
Yeah. And as you approach the bathrooms, the smells start to get all kind of mixed together, and I'm going to need you to make another survival check.
Survival check. I'm going to survive the bathrooms.
The worst place in any horror movie.
That is a 12.
once you're inside that bathroom, the smells are there's too much kind of going on in terms of tracking per se, but if you were to, you suspect if you were to take the time and kind of go about the room, you might be able to see if anything stood out.
Which is exactly what we shall do.
Because with that one, I'll give you back advantage.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Perception is different than survival, and the mechanics are a little bit muddy on how that all blends together. It's like, hi, I want to find evidence to start tracking. That's a perception check. I want to keep tracking it. That's a survival check. Because reasons.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense in its own roundabout way.
Yeah.
All right, let us see how we do with advantage, which is awesome. All right, cool. Dice roll, be nice to... Oh, I'm going to keep this one. It's a 23.
Okay.
Cool. Hey!
So as you go about this sad excuse for a bathroom, and I say sad excuse because it's also just kind of carved out of the rock. What functions as showers are like holes in the wall that are spraying water down continuously. And as you're sniffing around the room, and don't smell that spring-fed, but we'll go for it. It's a
That's
very
what it said
wet.
On the brochure.
Well, it's technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. There's a nasty, musty, moldy, wet odor as you head through the shower kind of section. And it is kind of spraying down. As the stuff splashes on you, you realize how freaking cold the water is that's coming out. And now you kind of can make sense as to why so many people stay dirty all the time.
Yeah.
As you move past the shower sections, kind of sniffing along, you do find yourself at the latrine, and the musty, wet stink begins to mix with all sorts of other
aromas.
However, there is a drain grate in the floor, only a couple feet wide. And as you go around, you realize that all the floors are kind of pitched in this direction for any other overflowage. And the smell of chlor is the strongest at this grate, as well as a smell terribly dissimilar to that orc who was, at the front gate, at the front door.
Found something. Theo can't resist. He's gonna give Bob the dog a good scruff of the ears for being a good tracker.
And on that note, we're gonna call it for tonight as you guys find the grate where chlor is hopefully waiting behind, because chlor's got running water and you guys are in a toilet. So
be behind door number 1.
Let's just say it's a shitty situation for all. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight's episode. And we'll, see you all soon.
Thank you.
Gonna post some links in the thingy-mabobble for the schedule and for the YouTube channel if you want to catch up on other episodes. And we'll just see where this thing goes. Until next time. Bye.
It goes down the drain.
Goodbye now. Goodbye.